The state of Arkansas continues to waste the time and resources of the people in the state now by restricting school bathroom use by transgender people. Under the leadership, if you can call it that, of Republican Governor Sarah Huckabee-Sanders, they have banned CRT from schools, which wasn't being taught in schools, and they are generally wasting a ton of time. And now the news is, yes, indeed, Governor Sarah Huckabee-Sanders signed a new law prohibiting trans people at public schools from using the restroom of their choice. This would make Arkansas the fourth place to put such restrictions on public schools, and it requires that that individuals use the bathroom that match, I believe the wording they're using is their birth sex. Alabama, Oklahoma, and Tennessee have filed similar restrictions, although lawsuits have been filed. And this is something that is growing and growing and growing. Here's where I want to focus today on this issue. It's really important to talk about the absurdity of the bathroom issue. There is simply no evidence that trans people in public bathrooms pose a threat to the safety of others, whether we're talking about kids, adults, in schools, out at restaurants, in malls, or whatever the case may be. One of the big arguments, really the biggest argument that the right makes, is that if anybody can just use whatever bathroom they want based on their their stated gender identity, it opens the door to stalking and sexual assault and pedophilia and all sorts of different things. There is absolutely no evidence that that is the case. And in fact, when you look at the data, there are widespread studies about this. Studies have shown that trans people are way more likely to be the victims of violence and the victims of harassment in public restrooms than they are to be the perpetrators. There's a 2013 study from UCLA School of Law. It finds 70% of trans respondents were verbally harassed or assaulted or mistreated in public restrooms. A 2016 report by the Human Rights Campaign found that 59% of trans people avoided using public restrooms in the preceding year because they were afraid of those negative experiences. And there's a 2018 study from the AAP, the American Academy of Pediatrics, which finds trans people and gender nonconforming youth are more likely to experience verbal and physical abuse in school restrooms. On the other side of this, there is absolutely no study that finds that when you look at incidents of harassment, sexual assault, etc., in public bathrooms, that trans people are overrepresented relative to their population. There is just no data that can support that cause. And then there's the last aspect to this. If your concern is sexual assault or harassment or whatever the case may be, it is already illegal. Your gender identity doesn't matter. Your genitalia doesn't matter. It is already illegal to engage in sexual assault or harassment or stalking or photography or whatever the case may be in public restrooms. Doesn't matter which bathroom you're in. The gender identity of the individuals involved also doesn't matter. And the law is applied equally, whether you are cisgender or transgender. The law is already there. And there is no evidence that trans people are more likely to commit sexual assault or harassment than cisgender people. So the entire framework here is a moral panic and fear framework, as is often the case with right-wingers. They don't have the facts on their side because the facts aren't on their side. And so it's based on fear and the idea, quite frankly, the idea that they want to tell you is that Hulk Hogan is going to put on a wig, go into a public bathroom and harass little girls. That's the idea, the image that these folks want you to believe. It's not happening. There's no data that backs this up as an actual danger. And Sarah Huckabee-Sanders just continues wasting time on this complete and utter nonsense. One of our sponsors today is Blue Chew, a unique online service delivering the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis in a chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. And they're giving my audience an entire month's supply for free. So if you think you could benefit from an extra boost of confidence When it's time, all you have to do is take a short quiz on their website. A licensed doctor approves your prescription. The medication comes straight to your home within days in a discreet package. No driving around to the doctor's office or the pharmacy. No waiting around. No awkward conversations with your doctor. All of Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA. The entire process is just a few clicks. Go to bluechew.com. The link is underneath this video. They'll give you an entire month's supply for free when you use the promo code PACMAN. All you have to do is pay $5 shipping.